All right, we are back with another Drive Across 65. It's been a while, Preston. It's been a couple
Yes, sir.
weeks.
Yes, sir.
Holidays, man.
Been busy.
Holidays. Yeah. Last time we recorded, we booked some winners. We talked about the Arizona over. Kansas first half was a big win for us. We definitely hit that one hard. We definitely had the Niners over that weekend. The Steelers under. We had a lot of good games, man. We definitely weeded through the woods pretty well there, and absolutely crushed it. We're gonna do it again this week. Let's uh let's dive into some MLB offseason free agency. Talk about that. We're gonna start heading towards that direction. It's December. We'll be hitting spring training before you know it. We're gonna want to know about some of these teams, some of the players they got, yada yada, who's winning, who's losing. I'm gonna be excited. We're gonna start grading teams weekly, which I think is gonna be fun, man. Because I think we really are both dialed into MLB, man. Even being Reds fans, I think that we're
Oh
pretty
man,
we're pretty dialed in. Did we ever find out why Votto was trending today?
I couldn't find anything, but you made my heart skip a beat because the only little bit of happiness that I get out of the Reds comes from seeing Joey Votto every year.
Right.
And when you told me he was trending on Twitter earlier, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, first off, who would be goofy enough to pick up that kind of contract for an almost 40-year-old first baseman?
Right.
Um, and second off, that guy is the only piece left of that team that can bring a smile to anybody at this point.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. And he's definitely going to head into the media aspect of it when his career's over, man. He's already setting that path, so he'll be around. Maybe like the next Barry Larkin, you know what I mean? He just doesn't leave.
hey, you got to let the greatest Canadian baseball player of all time have his time to shine.
Truth.com. Let's start with DeGrom leaving the Mets, going to the Rangers. The Rangers were a team I bet heavily on the over last year because they could hit, but also because they could not stop anybody from hitting. I think if they get 10 games out of DeGrom next year, it'll be a win for
That's
them.
that's that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that move is going to be either really good or is going to be looked at 10 years from now as a terrible decision for them.
Right. Not news. Kershaw resigned with the Dodgers. Verlander to the Mets. He took not only a pay cut in salary, but also the taxes he's going to pay leaving Houston and going to New York. Big pay cut there, but they get out of the Grom question mark and add a Verlander who will more than likely hopefully stay healthy most of the season and add a good arm to their roster.
Yeah, I think he's ring chasing at this point, and Cohen seemed to be opening the checkbook up there. So
Yeah,
I'm
Uncle
not
Steve does
surprised by
not
that move.
care.
He's made his money throughout his career. He's at the point where he's in it for the legacy aspect of it.
Let's get ahead real quick. Speaking of the Mets, man, Correa, I thought he finessed Uncle Steve so hard, bro. That was Mets fans don't want to hear it. I'm not a big Carlos Correa guy. I don't think he did. I mean, he obviously did not have a great season last year, whatever. But uh, his overall career, it looks good on paper. I don't think he's that good. I think he's essentially compared to basketball terms, he's a high paid role player. You know what I mean? Like he's not that guy, pal. I think Uncle Steve might have gotten finessed right there. Turner to the Phillies and a big bat. Um,
Huge base runner too. That's
yeah,
huge for them. Adding some
yeah,
speed and some depth.
yeah. I'm anxious to see what that lineup looks like next year. We're gonna be all over those overs. Cubs making moves, man. Picked up Bellinger. If y'all saw my tweet, uh, David Ross walked up, was like, "Hey man, do you want to come play for the Cubs?" And Belly's like, "Yeah,
I was
bro."
about to say,
He's
has
like,
anybody actually does Bellinger know he's on the Cubs now?
"Hang on, let me finish the bit. Let me finish the bit." Yeah, bro, can't wait. All right, man. Well, we'll see you at training camp up in Chicago, man. It's awesome. Can't wait. Cool, man. It's awesome, bro. Yo, who is that? Bro, he's such a clown. But yeah, the Cubs are definitely adding some talent. Walker getting picked up by the Phillies. They're adding an arm. Judge, snooze news. The Giants got to feel bad for them a little bit though, man, because they keep thinking they're getting players and they're not. Really, they got out of a big contract with Correa again. Like I said, man, that wasn't. They feel like they got finessed, and it looks like they got finessed because Judge was going to go and Correa both was going to go, and neither one of them ended up there. Speaking of finesse, Jansen to the Red Sox, reliever from the Braves. He sucks, and Red Sox fans are going to pull their hair out because I've bet plenty of Braves games last year and had him coming in to try to close the game out and just was sweating bullets. It was not fun.
Really got that Hunter Green effect. Guy's got gas, but that's about all he's got.
Yeah. Contreras going to St. Louis, replacing Yola. Who? Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you pulled that one up because there was no way I was getting there. That's a big pickup for the Cardinals, man. They'll be back next year, Goldschmidt and all that whatnot. Nemo re-signing with the Mets is not news.
We got Will Myers to the Reds. You know, Castellini's really opening up that checkbook. You know, really bringing in the big names.
What's I was trying to think of something smaller than a checkbook, but I couldn't get there.
A pocketbook.
Yeah, maybe
his coin purse.
Yeah. There was another one I wanted to talk about. Oh, we talked about a second ago. Rodon. Yep, going to the Yankees, getting a big left-handed pitcher up there in New York is huge. Gallo heading back to the Midwest to the Twins. And Dansby Swanson was the other one. I couldn't remember the other one that the Cubs got. They're gonna have some bats, man.
They are.
Yeah,
they're gonna look good.
As much as yeah, Suzuki, man. Suzuki, he didn't have a full year last year. He was in and out, but he played well. I think the Cubs are gonna have some bats. Losing Contreras is weird though for him, right? Like they're gonna add all these bats now and not have that catcher and not have that hitter right there. Tucker Barnhart. Oh, this is new. Tucker? Did you see that?
No, where's he going?
Oh, it was Thursday. Oh, it's so new because the next story up is Will Myers going to the Reds. Oh, this hurts my heart. Where do you think he's going?
I'm guessing Pirates, Cubs, Brewers, Cubs. I mean, I would be less okay with that if we didn't have Stevenson, but Stevenson's actually seemed to have proven that he's going to be a guy. So that probably means that the Reds will be trading him to the Yankees or to the Mariners or whoever else is going to need a catcher to be vying for a playoff position.
Yeah, I feel like I literally y'all are getting live reaction to Barnhart getting signed by the Cubs. Man, the old left-hand batter. He didn't start last year for the Tigers. That was a weird move for him anyway. I wasn't really sure. Everybody going to the Tigers last year all together, and then that team not playing well was really weird. But that sucks, man. That sucks. I really like Tucker, man. He's
getting older. He's getting older, so I mean, it's that time of his career where he's going to be bouncing around to be a backup guy for a team who's going to need a good catching all year, a good signal caller from behind the plate. He's really consistent from behind the plate, but his bat seems to be losing just a little bit of a oomph to it in the later part of his career.
All right, you gotta help me again, man. I'm so glad that you're a Reds fan on this podcast. Help me. Threw a no-hitter for the Reds 2 years ago.
Tom Brown. Bauer.
Nope. Long hair country boy.
Long hair country boy threw a no-hitter for the Reds.
Yeah, third against the Guardians. He got signed by the Cubs. I wonder if he's going to go back there, and I wonder if that's something to do with Barnhart. I'll figure it out in a second.
I said Tom Browning. R.I.P. R.I.P. to Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, that is funny. She was like, Tom Browning. It was like, no, that's not even close.
Well, that was recent news, too. He just recently passed away.
Yeah. I can't believe I can't think of this guy's name, man. He threw a no-hitter for us. He had the Incredible Hulk sticker he wore that his son made him. Anyways, we need to dive into the NFL.
Wade
I'm not going to spend Wade Miley. Look at you, hero. Did you just type those words in? You're a
no, I
monster.
just Googled who threw the most recent no-hitter for the Reds, and it was Wade Miley.
It was Wade
I
Miley.
miss
Yeah.
Wade.
Yeah, that's what. And he went to the Cubs, man. I'm wondering if there's any correlation there with them going and getting Tuck, because Tuck was the one that caught that no-hitter for him. All right, let's dive into the NFL slate, man. No college basketball. There's just so much NFL going on this weekend, Saturday, and so many playoff implications and games and whatnot situations. I'm on ESPN. We're gonna go in that order. Is that cool with you?
That's fine. Just let me know who we got and give me a second to find it.
Bills Bears leading off.
On that.
Don't like any of that. I mean, Fields is going to play. You got to like the Bears to cover. I'm not going to bet anything on it. I opened up with this game just to not skip it, but I kind of feel like the Bills are due for a blowout. It's time for them to beat somebody up. It's at Chicago. We going to have any weather, any wind or anything?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like 20 to 30 mile per hour. So maybe a field goal under prop. I think the Bears, if I remember correctly, have gone over the most in the NFL this year in their games. I think that was a couple weeks ago I saw a stat, so I'm not sure what that looks like now, but like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they led the league in games going over. So keep that in mind as we roll into the weekend. And with the wind and potential weather, with everything being with Jack Frost nipping at everybody's heels this weekend, could be a Justin Fields Russian prop there as well.
Yeah. Yep. They're talking about probably in the range of 24-16 Bills is where the bookmakers have this game going over. Can almost just go Bills team total over. That might be a play in the morning. We'll dive into that. The sloppy game of the slate, Browns Saints. The lowest total in the past decade plus in a NFL game. It's fun.
We're taking the over, right? I am ship it. I don't care if they got a blizzard up there right now.
That's insane, man. Hunt prop for sure, right? We on that Hunt prop?
Yeah, Hunt touchdown. Definitely gonna be getting a touchdown this weekend.
Update alert. We had the Houston, Louisiana over. Nobody wanted to score. Houston ended up winning 23-16. They didn't want to play all game, man. They did not want to play all game. 39 points, and we had over 56. Wasn't even close. Sad face. What about maybe a Watson rushing prop and that bouncing back to that Brown Saints game? Eventually he's got to turn it on, right? Like eventually. Like I was down on him playing the Texans. We won that game, Texans first half. But eventually, man, he's got to figure it out. Another sloppy one, Texans versus King Henry. No, it's just King Henry. It's the Texans versus Henry. That's Texans versus Derrick Henry. Lions 3, totals 35.5. I like King Henry to score multiple touchdowns in this game. That's the only
plus.
Yeah, 2 TDs. That's the only thing I got. Lions 3, totals 35.5. Anything?
No, I'm staying away from your Texans, man. They seem to be they're playing really good. They haven't caught a win here recently, but it's one of those where you don't want to be on the wrong end of a Texans bet at this point in time.
Right. Most interesting line, I feel like, of the weekend, Chiefs Seahawks. Chiefs are 10, totals 49.5.
The 10's what gets me, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like the Chiefs have not been playing well enough in recent weeks to warrant a 10-point spread against the Seahawks, who had the ability to kind of play above what you would think would be their skill level. Trap game for sure. Got to be Seahawks covering that spread.
Shout out to Geno Smith. I believe this is his first Pro Bowl.
Oh, he made the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl. I think it was.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, it's him, Kirk, and I can't remember the other NFC quarterback.
Gotta be Hurts, right?
Hurts, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, I was
Hurts so
like,
good.
I haven't even looked at the roster, and that's just who sticks out in my head.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Don't love Kansas City -10. You gotta feel like the line should be closer, man. 49.5. Any thoughts?
Over, I guess. I mean, because the Chiefs' defense isn't really that good.
Right.
Are the Seahawks playing for a playoff spot still? I'm sure they are.
Yep. They're still in contention. Everybody's still in contention. Because it doesn't make any sense, give me the Chiefs -10. I mean, how many more times can these guys be double-digit favorites and not cover, right? Like, the sports books just aren't going to keep laying those lines and then keep losing. I could definitely see a Geno Smith, Pete Carroll meltdown game right here in the game going 38-7 Chiefs. Wrap it up. Another game I do not want to talk about, Giants, Vikings. Vikings at home, lines 4, totals 50 on the nose.
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
My heart's still with the Vikings. They're just winning. Like, that's just the words. They're just.
I mean, I will say the good news is that 4 points is a one possession score, which is the only thing they seem to be winning by. So I mean, they could win by a touchdown and still cover that spread, but they're just after that Colts game. There's just nothing there to tell me that they have the ability to double up the Giants in that one. I mean, you want to say they win that game, but which Vikings team are we going to get?
Right. Hey, I mean, and I want the Vikings to succeed, but they're 11-3. By all means, they could be the same 8-5 team that they're playing this weekend, just by a couple sneezes, like a couple inches.
A couple sneezes, they could be a 1-win team this year.
Yeah. Well, give me a stat.
Well, at least 2 or 3 weeks ago, they were saying if all the 1-score games for the Vikings were flipped, they would only have 1 win all year.
Yeah. Shout out to the Houston Texans. Bengals Patriots in the most Patriots line ever. They're getting 3 at home against the Bengals. The Bengals have been tearing it up.
They look good. They got
spread,
the
man. They're just out of nowhere. They're like, look at me in my face right now. The Bengals are 10-4. What?
Disgusting.
What? They're 10-4? How? When? When did that happen?
Joe Shiesty.
Not only are they 10-4, you're gonna be really sick over this one. This is a whole sports betting podcast. They're 11-3 against the spread. You're plus 8 units right now if you bet them against the spread.
I mean, I think they cover this game. I don't think that the Patriots defense is going to have much for Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and the boys.
I agree. I think this is one where people keep saying, well, I know the Patriots are da-da-da, but Belichick da-da-da, and eventually, like, that conversation is going to lose gas. I mean, it's going to run out. I'm with you. We're going to put that one down. Bengals -3, both of us. Lions, Panthers, and one that the Lions can run the table, make the playoffs, man. Like, that's so awesome, man.
Good for them.
Awesome. Yeah.
They deserve it. It's been a long time.
There are 2 really, really great offensive lines in the NFL, I believe, this year. One of them belongs to the Philadelphia Eagles, and the other one belongs to the Lions for sure. And they're not getting enough credit, man. They're especially their goal line offense, man. Just their running backs walking balls in once they get down there. Goff is just having years and years to throw. Back to it though. Detroit on the road, 3-point game against the Panthers team that nobody understands, nobody can figure out because they just keep losing players and coaches and they just keep competing. It's weird.
Well, it's like every week somebody else new is starting at quarterback. It's like, who's going to be the Panthers quarterback this week?
Right. The fun stat of the week is 2 teams did not have Pro Bowl nomination. It was the Jags and the Bears. And it was funny because earlier you said who from the NFC did not was the other quarterback, and I almost said Justin Fields, but I was like, that's not right. They didn't have one. I can't even name the person from the Panthers that got the Pro Bowl nod. Who you thinking? Who was it?
Got to be something random, like maybe like a tackle.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Back to the Panthers. Lions, Panthers at home. Lions 2.5. Totals 43.5. You can't keep telling me that the Lions have a trash defense and they're going to get scored on, yada yada yada, because they keep not letting people score.
Update: Brian Burns at defensive end was the Carolina Panthers player that made it for the Pro Bowl.
Nailed it. I mean, you can literally just be like, who? And that's the end of the conversation.
I mean, I was just going to say, I have no idea who Brian Burns is.
Yeah. Lions beat the Jets 20-17. We know that the Jets aren't good. Shout out to that under yesterday came in. Lions beat the Vikings 34-23. Beat the Jags, only allowed 14. Beat the Giants, only allowed 18. I mean, their defense ain't bad, bro. Their offense is scoring.
Yeah, I kind of like the over in this game. I feel like the Panthers maybe come out a little hot first half. And obviously we know the Lions have been able to score here recently. I've got the line at 43.5 here. I like the over in that game. I think both teams are going to be scoring. But I do believe the Lions will win that game. I think they just have too much to play for at this point. I think they're bought in to the system there. So honestly, an over and a -2.5 for the Lions on this one. Both of those I think are pretty good bets.
Yeah, it's a trappy line. I'm with you on the over. I could definitely see the game going over, man. And I don't see the Panthers winning, but why is it 2.5? Like, it's so trappy. It's so trappy. It's so trappy. I can't. I'm out on the total too. It's I just talking myself out of it. Got you down for over 43.5 Panthers. Falcons, Ravens in the battle of the backups. I have no idea who's going to be the quarterback for the Ravens this week. Huntley is a question mark. Falcons start Riddler.
Trappy line.
Yeah. Baltimore's 7 point. I mean, maybe the Falcons are tanking. Maybe the Ravens. Maybe Harbaugh has something for rookie quarterbacks in his back pocket. Maybe.
Did you say Desmond Ritter's playing this weekend?
I believe so. Yeah, he started last week too. Yeah, because Mariota, as soon as it was announced that he was no longer the starter, he went and got season-ending knee surgery. He just bounced. He was like, I just had a kid, bro. If y'all ain't gonna play me, I'm just gonna get healthy. I mean, I respect it, but nevertheless, really, really, really low total in that game, man. 34.5. Why they not putting any respect on the Falcons' name?
Well, it's just rookie QB. Ravens always have a stud defense. And with the Ravens not knowing who's going to be at quarterback, I think that line makes a lot of sense. I was actually going to say I like the under 35. Just because, I mean, we could get backup quarterback like we always do. Both teams come out and score 30 points, but I mean, or we could just skip this game altogether and say, hey, we don't know who's playing this weekend. So,
yeah, Saints don't have a bad defense, man, and Falcons put up 18 against them last week. I say not a bad defense, but the Ravens is definitely more exceptional.
It's in Baltimore too, so you know it's going to be cold.
Yeah. But this is another fade one for me, man, because I can't. I don't know who's going. I want to lean Falcons really, just because I don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Ravens. Niners, Commanders. Niners 6.5 totals, 37.5. What's up with all these low totals, man? That's like three out of the last four is like in the 30s, low 40s.
That one's really weird too, because that one's going to be in San Francisco, no weather, maybe a little wind, but nothing in the effect of cold or any snow or any precipitation. So that one's definitely a weird line right there.
Yeah, you gotta Chase Young's question mark still. You gotta like the Niners defense. You gotta like the Niners offense. Purdy doing his thing.
He looked good.
This is a either one or the other thing, man. You're either gonna take the under or you're gonna take San Francisco. You're not gonna take both.
No, definitely not. If that's the case, I like San Francisco in this game. I think they're looking good. I think they're wanting to close the year out strong, but 6.5 is a little deep for that line right there because it's not like the Commanders. They just got robbed last week, so they're probably definitely looking for some revenge this week.
Mm-hmm.
But the refs may also not like all the comments that came out of the locker room here recently either, so they may,
Yeah. I'm not gonna argue with you, but I'm gonna argue for Terry McLaurin. That was so bogus, bro. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing for him.
No. I agree. That
I know
was
you do.
Complete horse crap. But
yeah. I definitely know that you agree. But also, I'm gonna say it. Niners feels like the right pick there. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on it. Niners minus 6.5. Let's get chalky. Eagles Cowboys. Very, 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 very interesting game. Cowboys at home. Minus 4.5 against give me the quarterback. Line.
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner. Man. So
the third.
Shout out. So I broke this game down in my head. Driving earlier, actually, I was thinking about it. And initially, the knee-jerk reaction is Gardner's good enough to cover this line. He's good enough to play with the Eagles. Probably the best offensive line. I think the best offensive line in the NFL. He's going to have players to throw it to. Good defense. Feels like he's good enough to cover. On the flip side, you got the Cowboys blowing that game against the Jags last weekend in disgusting fashion at home. Big NFC game. You got to feel like the Cowboys really going to dig in and have to take advantage of the backup quarterback situation, right? I think the public's going to be on the Eagles, and I think it's the wrong side.
You think the public's going to be on the Eagles? I think the public, when they hear Jalen Hurts is out, is going to be smashing the Cowboys.
So, but I think again, knee-jerk reaction is everybody knows who Gardner Minshew is, even though I don't remember his name. I mean, I know he played for the Jags. I know he's an all-time backup. He's a beast, bro. Like, I think everybody's gonna say that he's good enough. And I think this line reflects it, that 4.5. Like, because if you look at it on paper again, Cowboys coming off a loss, big NFC rival. Got to have the win at home against a backup quarterback, right? That screams Cowboys. And then they're like, well, it is Minshew, so Minshew could probably – I think that's how an average brain would think as far as this game.
Is Minshew like the second coming of like Ryan Fitzpatrick or something? I mean, that's kind of how I look at this guy, where he's going to be a traveled journeyman. He's going to have like a random 14-year career where he plays for like 9 different NFL teams. I'm kind of on the opposite front as you. I feel like the public's going to be all over Dallas in this one. And then Minshew comes out and maybe plays above his skill level. Or maybe not above his skill level, but above the expectations here. It really surprises everybody. But I mean, you could have where, we had that scenario a couple weeks ago where the small money is on Minshew because it's the popular bet, and then the big money is actually going to be on Dallas. So that's a weird one for sure, because I would have assumed that Vegas would be pushing that line just a little bit wider to try to entice people to bet the Eagles. But I feel like with that line being so small, they want you to try to take Dallas because maybe, Vegas knows better than we do, and that game ends up being a little bit closer than most people would have originally thought.
Makes sense. It also makes sense that we're on opposite sides of this game just because that's how our brains work. I like Dallas minus 4.5, man.
My heart tells me Dallas. No. My heart tells me Dallas. Even with the fade the public strategy that you seem to be taking on this. I agree with you, though. I think Dallas wins this game by
Dallas 4.5.
a touchdown pass.
Raiders, Steelers. Do you know a thing or two about the Steelers?
No, I'm not familiar.
Well, they play up north and it's going to be cold, and the Raiders are soft.
I see. It's funny because the Raiders have actually been playing here well here recently. I think that they may have actually found their stride with McDaniels secretly, and they're not telling anybody. But then McDaniels,
they're not even telling like the scoreboard.
yeah, that them and McDaniels have it put together. That's going to be an interesting one. Steelers also another team that started out slow this year, but has seemed to find their stride, especially in close games. Under. I don't think either one of these teams is going to be putting up a whole lot of points this week. I think I tried to see where we talked about Pickett being back. We'll have to see how he is being out a couple weeks and coming back in with him being a rookie. What's that going to look like for him? Having that gap in the middle of the season where he didn't get any play time. I think the Steelers defense shuts them down just a little bit, but I don't want to pick a line on that, but I under. I don't feel like it's going to be a boring game.
Steelers -2. Raiders are soft. I've been on the Raiders all year, man. They're not going to be ready for that cold weather. A game I'm going to avoid: Dolphins Packers. Dolphins are 3.5. Totals 49. I don't even want to think about it, but it's up to you, man. If you have anything on it.
Aaron Rodgers over 3.5 Percocets taken at halftime.
I'll put that down. Rodgers over 3.5 perks. Broncos Rams. Under. Yeah. Broncos Rams.
Yes.
And I think this is going to be a public pick also, and I think the public's going to be right. 36.5. Unless the Broncos just do something like they did a couple weeks ago where they just put up 30 points out of nowhere. Defensively driven game. I like Rams quarterback. Thank you.
Baker Mayfield.
I like Baker Mayfield.
Are you drunk?
No, names are slipping. I like Baker Mayfield, man, but I don't think he's gonna get it done against this defense. 36.5 is about where it should be, and I'm going under. Bucks Cardinals. Trace McSorley starting for the Cardinals.
Trace McSorley.
And the Bucks still have a chance to win the NFC South and make it into the playoffs. Tampa's -7.5 going to Arizona.
I got all the way to -8 on the line right here.
I got you. Well, it's probably for a reason, man. I'm on Tampa Bay -8. It's their time.
Tom Brady.
He's not dead.
Not dead yet.
Tom Brady's not dead. 40.5. Do you have a side?
Is Kyler's done for the year, right?
Yeah, Trace McSorley's that guy, pal. I think McCoy went to protocol. He might have gotten hurt, but I think it's protocol. I think it's concussion.
I think everybody's realized that Cliff Kingsbury is.
Are you drunk?
Cliff Kingsbury is not that guy. That air raid offense doesn't work for the NFL. It's just not happening. I agree. Bucks defense is too good. Yeah, Trace McSorley is not going to have anything for those guys.
And can we just get JJ Watt to the Steelers, man, and just end his career up there and let him play with his brothers? Throw away his parents. Don't have to be two places at once.
I mean, because we got Highsmith on the other side of the line, who's leading the NFL in sacks for like a third of the year. So
yeah, he's gonna have to take a huge pay cut and whatnot. But I mean, go play with your brothers, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm all for it. I'll buy the jersey tomorrow.
Monday night game, Chargers Colts, in a game that's not going to mean anything for the Colts because they are dead. Chargers are 4, totals 45.5.
But Super Bowl champion, Big Dick Nick Foles Got to be at starting quarterback.
Oh, I forgot. I wrote down the Chargers already, and I forgot that. I think I even said that to you, didn't I?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
were the one
I'm
that
the one
told
that
me that.
said it. I
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot. Uh, it's not going to mean anything. The Colts aren't playing. I mean, it's between the Titans and the Jags for the AFC South now.
I think the
Um,
Chargers are locked into the playoffs too now at this point, aren't they?
you keep saying "aren't they" to me, bro? I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I think I saw a graphic the other day with teams with and their percentage chance to make the playoffs. I think the Chargers were listed at 100%. So I think they're locked in.
Bills, Bengals, both clinched. Chiefs clinched. Um, Eagles, Cowboys clinched. Vikings clinched. Niners clinched.
So
Rams, Cardinals, Bears, Broncos, Texans, Colts. Yeah, Colts are eliminated from playoffs. Yeah, they're not playing for anything, bro. Chargers. I don't care. Big Dick Nick can have it. Chargers.
Chargers.
Chargers. I said, do you think we can get one done in under 30 and we're at 36
We're
minutes?
close.
Shout out to the MLB Free Agency that got us there. But we did get through the NFL slate pretty quick, man. And that's all we need to do, man. Just get the lines out. We delivered a winning weekend last time we recorded. We're going to do it again. I'm excited for MLB, man. I'm excited for baseball season because NFL is about to wrap up. Being a Kentucky fan, I'm not excited about college basketball right now. You being a fan of the opposite team in red, I'm sure that you're not enthused with college basketball right now at all.
College what?
And Kentucky has their bowl game coming up and nobody's playing. So that sucks. All right, wrapped it up. Drive across 65.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve Eve. That's going to be in the title. The
Eve.
Christmas Eve Eve picks. Good luck, everybody.